I think that this is going to be an informative video. Today I am going to teach you guys what I know about sealing your RV. I'm going to show you how to seal the roof, and I'm also going to show you how to seal the windows, the slide seals, basically all the seals that crack around your RV, letting water in. One thing you don't want to do when you own an RV is let water in. That is the one thing that is an RVer's worst nightmare. Water damage. So let me show you how to avoid it. Now my friends, if you're new to this channel, my name's Taylor and this is my 2017 Arctic Fox 990 truck camper, which I live in full time, which means it's important for me to take care of it and maintain it against water damage. It's something that I'm extremely anal about, and I think that you should be as well, because water damage will ruin your RV. So I check my RV seals at least once a month, maybe even twice a month. Now I live in this full time, so it's always on the back of my truck. Well, most times, unless I'm doing a video, it's always on the back of my truck. And every time I drive with this RV on, it's like this RV or your home or my home going through a 3.5 magnitude earthquake. And so things move, things shift, and seals crack and break. So let me show you an example. Now if you park your RV for long periods of time, you don't have to check it every single month because it's not moving, it's not shifting. But for me, it's best that I do, because I'm constantly finding this. This is a front seal here, and if my camera does it justice, which it does, see that? See that fine crack in the sealant? Well, what's gonna happen over time while I'm driving, rain and water is gonna hit this, and it's slowly gonna seep into that crack, and it could enter my RV and start to cause water damage, which I don't want, like, at all. So it's quite easy to maintain your RV. It does take some time to inspect it, but it's quite easy to reseal areas so that water doesn't seep in. So in this video, that is what I'm going to teach you. Now, I am not an RV tech, I'm not an RV mechanic, it's just stuff that I've picked up. I've asked questions to RV techs, and I've scoured the internet for the best information. And so I've found something that works for me, and I'd like to teach that to you. Now, I hope I can keep this video quite short for you for two reasons. Number one, I have a friend's birthday party to go to tonight, and number two, I don't want it to rain. So let's get going. Oh, actually, let's set up on this picnic table. So these are all the goodies that you're gonna need. Number one, you're gonna need some type of cloth material. A rag works best, but I just have these heavy-duty paper towels, so I'm gonna use those today. Number two, you're gonna need something to clean the surface first. Now, a lot of people say that mineral spirits are the best. I went into an RV maintenance shop, and they said that they use camping fuel because it goes on wet, but it dries really quick. I also saw people say that Goo Gone, it actually says that it can be used for caulking. I'm going to be using Goo Gone to clean the surfaces. It's just less of a harsh chemical than camping fuel. So Goo Gone Pro Power, that's what I'm going to use to clean the seals. A caulking gun, you really do need one, but if you don't have it, you can still apply it with your finger if it's a small area, but invest in a cheap caulking gun. And the two sealants that I'm going to use today, number one is ProFlex, and number two is Dicor. So ProFlex is for the sides of your RV. So around windows, around your slide, all of the side seals on your RV. And Dicor is for your roof. It's self-leveling Dicor, so once you put it on, it levels itself and it seeps into all those cracks. And so these are the two products that I use. I'm sure there's others out there, but I've been told specifically from RV maintenance shops that these are the products that they use on Arctic Fox, and so this is the product that I use. Okay guys, so I do have a crack on the front of my RV, but just to give you an example and to show you, I'm gonna do it in an easier spot. I'm just gonna pretend like the top part of this storage compartment is cracking. All right, so you're gonna get your rag or your heavy duty paper towel, and you're gonna get your cleaning product, which for me is Goo Gone. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spray the Goo Gone on the rag, or you could spray it directly onto the sealant, and I am going to clean the top of this area. And then I'm gonna flip my cloth over and dry it. That's one reason that the mineral spirits or that camping fuel work really well, is because they dry almost instantly. Now today I'm just doing a patch-up job, but if you were removing the sealant because it was so old and it really wasn't doing anything for you anymore, what you would do is get a little plastic sealant remover. I just got this at a RV dealership in their maintenance section, and they filed this end down for me, so it's extremely sharp. So if you wanted to, you could actually take this sharp end here and you could start removing that old sealant and then apply a completely fresh layer. But for today, we're just gonna be doing some patch-up jobs, so I don't need this. The next step is I'm gonna grab my sealant. Now, because it's the side of the RV and not the roof, I'm not gonna be using the Dicor self-leveling sealant. I'm gonna be using the ProFlex sealant. All right, so I've got the ProFlex sealant in my caulking gun, and I cut a diagonal slice off of that, as you can see. Don't cut it too big because then too much caulking actually comes out. You don't want that much to come out, you just want a very small bead, and I'll show you what you're gonna do after. This is where the fun starts. Okay, so you're gonna pick an area. So like I said, we're gonna be doing the top, or you could be doing the side. And before I learned these new tips and tricks, I made quite a mess of my RV, but I'm gonna show you how the pros do it, so that it looks professional and neat, and just like it did when it came off the showroom floor. But basically, I'm gonna put a small bead right up top here. I'm gonna squeeze the trigger and just wait for a small bead to come out here. And I'm gonna slowly move down the RV. See how small that is? You don't want any more than that. Now, if your hand gets sore, just stop, release the gun, wipe a little extra off, and then reline up, and you can start again. But if you're getting a little bit shaky or the position isn't right for you, make sure you stop, reset, and start again so that you don't make it too messy. Stop the gun, wipe off the extra, keep it tidy, keep it clean. That's the big trick. Now, actually this is the bigger trick, watch this. I'm gonna take my index finger and I'm gonna put a little Goo Gone on this, just so it slides a little bit. Oh, and I got it all over the lens. One second. I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna spread this sealant out. So it's right now it's a tiny little bead along the top here, but I'm going to basically push it into the cracks. Now this is the trick. Every few inches you stop, wipe your finger, and continue going. That way you don't smudge the sealant all the way around this area. You keep it very simple and just go slowly and stop. Now look at how professional and how nice that looks. You see that? So now I'm just gonna take from there to there and stop. Now if I went all the way, there would be all this extra sealant. It would start to pour over the edges and make it look really unprofessional. With this trick, 1, 2, 3, done. And then one more time, 1, 2, 3, done. Now that is how the pros do it. And that's how they make everything look so good. That is how you seal the side of your RV like a pro and make it look really, really good and keep that water out. Take some time, but it's so, so important to do. Side compartments, windows. You can also come over here. Now I don't have my slide out that much, so my seals don't get used. Basically all the seals around your RV, that same method is used. Now what you'll notice with your windows is that they seal the very top and then they leave this area down here unsealed. So I just basically follow the old seal line, and if they haven't sealed an area, they obviously have a reason why, and so I just stay away from it. So I would just seal the very top here. It kind of makes sense because water drips down your RV, and so the top probably is the area that would be open to leaking. Now when I first started doing this, I didn't know the secret was to take your time, run your finger across, and then wipe your finger off, run your finger across. So I would just run my finger across the whole seam, then at the end it would look awful. I smudged a bunch of sealant all the way down here. Now don't worry if you mess up your first couple of times. Even if it looks messy, people can't tell from a distance, and it's better to look messy and have your RV sealed than it look really neat and not work at all. Now you may be asking yourself, well, how often do these seals crack and break? Well, like I said before, it depends how much you use your RV. Just to give you an example, about six or 8 months after I bought this, I went up top to check some things, and a lot of the seals, which I'll show you later, around the RV were actually cracked. Now, it wasn't a huge crack, but it just micro cracks because of the movement of the truck camper. So every few months I do find a little area that's cracked, like this one right here. Now let's go to the top and let me show you how you seal the roof. All right, here we are on the roof. So we're gonna take the ProFlex out of the caulking gun and we're gonna trade it for the Dicor self-leveling. Now you treat this stuff a little different than the ProFlex. more is better. With the ProFlex, less is better because you can smooth it into the cracks. This is self-leveling, so you want to basically dump this all over the area so that it gets in every nook and cranny. So what we're going to do just for demonstration is I'm going to pretend like something's leaking, or something has a hole in it, or a crack in it, or the sealant is no longer good. But I'm not going to scrape anything off. I'm just going to reapply or touch up. Now I've been told if you poke around your sealant and you create a hole, that it's time to scrape that off and replace it. But if you poke it and it just makes an indent and it still has its squishiness, then you're fine. So for sake of argument, this area right here either has a crack in it or a hole in it or it's leaking, and so we're gonna patch this area up. First thing you do, just like all the other ones, is you clean it. And then you're gonna come in with your caulking gun. Now there's less precision on this and more just putting a bunch of this stuff on. So say the crack is right on top here, or how about right over here, right there. What you're gonna do is you're gonna come in, but you should put a bunch of this stuff on there. Now what this is gonna do, this is self-leveling. So you're just gonna leave it and it's slowly going to form around this area. So it's gonna drop into any cracks or holes that you have. So that's why you put a bunch on. It doesn't have to be pretty. Nobody comes up here for tea parties and judges how beautiful your roof is. So leave it on there. A great way to think about it is if you go to buy an RV and the roof looks awful, there's sealant all over the place, you know that it's a great RV. Even though that it looks awful, you know that it's been taken care of. So guys, I hope that you learned something on this episode. That's how I seal my roof. That's how I seal the side of my RV. If there's any RV techs that watch this, you're more than welcome to correct me in the comment section below. So everyone go to the comment section to see if I'm wrong. Other than that, guys, I hope that you keep living that dream. Get up on the roof. I know it's kind of annoying, but get up on the roof, check all those seals, make sure they're closed, and if not, apply some sealant to them. I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. If you want to watch some more of these videos, subscribe. Also in the description below, I will put a link to our across Canada trip. Me and my girlfriend who's in the RV right now, she's probably like, why is this shaking so much? We just went across Canada, if you're new to the channel, for 45 days. I made 21 videos. I'll put the first one in the link in the description below. Have a wonderful rest of your night. I'll see you in the next video, and bye-bye. I know YouTube is my life and I love it, but boy is it annoying trying to get this stuff done. Every scene you gotta move the camera. All right, I think that should be good. Let's bring you down and point you to the ground. Right there.